Hey, Adam, how's it going?
Hey Sam, how are you?
Good, thanks. Thanks so much for making the time. To start things off, would love to hear a bit more about Cedar Key, a bit about your brand, where you operate, how many listings, and a bit more about yourself.
Sure, you bet. So my wife and I bought the company in January of 2023, and yeah, we had 52 units. We now have 71 units under management, operating mostly in Cedar Key, Florida, and recently expanded to St. Pete and Clearwater areas of the Tampa area.
Awesome. And you've been one of our original Besty customers. I think to start things off, I'm curious to hear. We started working together in late September, early October. I think it was our second month of operation. Maybe if you could speak to your experience with the product so far, even on maybe a personal level, just seeing the product evolve, and any comments around the team and what your experience has been so far before we dive into the details.
Yeah, no. So we had the opportunity to use two other AI platforms prior to meeting you in Arlo, and just the difference in the functionality, things worked, your accessibility, Arlo's accessibility, and you really understood, I think, as an operator yourself, what a vacation rental owner or manager is trying to accomplish.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you so far. So specifically diving into the product ballpark, do you have a rough sense maybe from your dashboard of how much revenue Vesties generated you via some of our booking booster automations?
Sure. So the last time we looked, it was twelve to $13,000 of additional incremental revenue just as a result of the Gap Night tool. So suggesting to guests either after their stay or prior to their stay, potentially adding a day or two on. So just that element alone, we've been able to see those the offer being made to the offer being accepted to arrive at that total.
Awesome. And thanks for sharing. And when it comes to the messaging piece of it, I know you started with us using draft mode and you've since evolved into autopilot. If you could speak to your experience of like making that jump to trusting autopilot, and then when the real rubber meets the road, what your experience has been actually having the keys over. I know you and Katie being on the hook for messaging prior to this, how it's maybe your honest take. I know this is a case study, but really want to hear your feedback. And I'm sure people would like to hear the real honest feedback about what do you like about it, what you don't like about it, what you're looking forward to us improving.
Sure. So the great thing about Bestie is our ability to put it in draft mode and to see it work. So we're able to verify the validity of the answer prior to hitting the submit button, hitting the send button. Then ultimately, as we got more comfortable, we could start to put it on autopilot. And then, of course, another benefit of Bestie is the confidence within the system to understand whether it feels good enough to send that message, or again, it's going to wait for us to respond. So there's a lot of checks and balances and safeties in the system to make sure that things are dealt with. And as a vacation rental manager, who's we have 71 properties. The issue is about 70% of your messaging are pretty simple standard things that we all deal with. So for us, the ability to take those questions and really automate them, you've got happier guests. As we mentioned before with revenue, you get happier owners because you've got higher occupancy. Just across the board, it's checking so many boxes for us. And because we're growing, we're not necessarily looking to cut headcount. We buy into the philosophy of delegate and elevate. So we're delegating the lower level questions and the questions that can be answered within the framework of Bestie. And that allows our people to go do higher level activities to help our guests and to help our owners in their properties produce more revenue.
Awesome. And just a last quick question. I mean, you've been working with us for 6 months now as a customer, and yeah, 6 months. What are you most excited about on our roadmap? Maybe generally speaking, without giving too much away about what you know about our roadmap. What's your general outlook around I guess I should say around applied AI within your operation? Maybe looking forward in the next 6 months or so. What are you most excited about when it comes to using Bestie?
I really appreciate again your and Arlo's perspective as vacation rental managers yourself. You see the opportunities, and it's kind of, I think you and the team are approaching it from the perspective of, wow, if I had an unlimited number of staff to go do things to reach out to guests with these specific scenarios, this is how I'd handle it. And you've built that into the tool and the technology and with the AI that it just does it in a wonderfully smooth turnkey way. So we really know that part of the business is optimized.
Awesome, Adam. Well, thank you so much for your time. Look forward to continuing to work with you, and I'm sure we'll be in touch soon.
Thanks, Sam.